I'll repeat, I'll be recording this for the sake of those who weren't able to attend. Okay, so I'll be sharing also my screen so that we have something to talk to this afternoon. So there you go. Okay, so we are now in chapter 6 of our book, which is entitled Communicate to Care. So I believe that each of us not just communicate because we have something to share, right? But we communicate too because we care. Okay, so I'm back. So there are people who wants to enter. Admit. So just a reminder po ha, mute po muna kayong lahat. So our objectives for this afternoon, the first one is to convey ideas through oral, audiovisual, and or web-based presentations for different target audiences in local and global settings using appropriate registers. And the second one is create clear, coherent, and effective communication materials. Okay, so these are the two targets that we're going to tackle this afternoon. So communicate. It says here that as a college student, sometimes you just feel that everyone around you expects you to be the jack of all trades. There are many times, right, that when you're already a college student, so they expect you to do the things yourself. Okay, it means that you can do this, you can do that, because you're already in a college level. And deliver every time you're asked to. In all of the courses you are enrolled in right now, you are frequently asked to speak. Am I right? So just thumbs up, with a thumbs up. Organize your thoughts like professional, speak your mind like you're on a television, and most of the time even put everything into writing for everyone's scrutiny. At the very least, a college student like you is expected to know how to communicate effectively as if you really care about what is happening across the globe. Okay, that is why we need to be globally minded people. Okay, because what we are thinking, it is not just locally or within ourselves, but we extend or expand our territories. When we say territories, it's not only the place, but also our what do you call this? Inspiration, or we expand the horizon of our, what do you call that? Inspiration. Okay, later on, maybe it will just come back to my mind. You're 18 anyway, and some of you here are in your 20s. So it is time to grow up. You have got to start learning how to care about the world the way an adult should. If you really want to pass purposive communication, begin to communicate to show that you care. So let us explore this idea of caring with how to write an excellent essay and consider the following in doing so. So what are the considerations in writing an excellent essay? Number one is, what is your main goal? Okay, is it, before you even begin writing your first word in the essay, you are planning to write, think of a goal you want to achieve with your paper. Are you writing to inform? Are you in the business of persuading people to the specific action? Or maybe you just want to entertain. So these are the three main goals that you need to consider. Are you just going to inform? Are you just going to persuade? Or are you going to entertain? Whatever your goal is, you must present this goal in a way that will convey a specific message without any form of distractions like faulty grammar, incorrect spelling, and much too lengthy sentences. If you need to reinforce your message with data and examples, do so in order to present a write-up that consists of logical and thoughtful arguments. So, have you decided on your goal yet? If you have, then begin asking yourself this. So the second to consider is, am I ready to pour out my thoughts on a piece of paper? So this is the time to turn on your laptop and prepare your typing your ideas in actual words, or get yourself a piece of paper for some good old writing activity. So if you're considering our age right now, so you could consider your cell phones, our laptop or tablets. But if you think like the best thing to do is traditional, so you can get back to good old writing, okay, like the piece of paper thing. So write down anything that you think will support your main goal or the arguments you have in mind. This step may have a sense of tentativeness to it, but hey, you do not get paid to write. At least not yet. So start from scratch. Now get your ideas on paper and take it from there. Now that your ideas are literally on paper, you may be ready to, if you have already ideas, and put it on a paper. So you are ready now with your number 3, presenting your argument by and explain them. So arguments are not only meant for court litigations, like you're in a court. So you need to really, you have, like for example, your opponent. So all you need to do is to have good data or good proofs so that you will win really that particular set. Like you win the heart of the, what's that, ombudsman or the lawyer, because of your presented facts and evidences. They're also necessary if you want your point of view to be recognized worthy of your reader's time. Because sometimes when, especially nowadays in our generation, so if it's not important, if it's not with the realm of their imagination or their genre or their taste, so they would not really read your thought. So in this case, your teacher, so it is me. Okay, because what you will be presenting later on, of course, those will be read by me. Furthermore, if you want your arguments to fly, be sure to explain them with conviction. If you are tasked to write about the most important turning point in your life, make sure that you have enough reason to say that it is a turning point worth focusing on, and that explaining why so is very interesting. Explain how the same turning point changed you. Prove your point. Add more by writing what you learned from certain moments of your life that gave you that aha moment. Oh, this is really the thing, something like that. So at this point, you have not even begun to actually write your essay, paragraph by paragraph, which means that, the number 4 consideration, okay, a topic sentence is now in order. So you are now ready to present your idea through a topic sentence. So basically, you are required to write a 3-paragraph essay. So maybe you're questioning, what's this 3-paragraph essay? So it consists your beginning, the middle, and or the beginning or the introduction, your body, and the conclusion. Then you are just about ready to think and write your topic sentences. Firstly, a topic sentence contains the main idea of your paragraph. This sentence sets the tone of the entire paragraph. For instance, you are writing an essay about leadership, a presidency. In an editorial in the New York Times began with this sentence about Donald Trump. So let's have this editorial about Donald Trump. There you go. So that's one. A dissenter. Maybe we should take a moment to feel sorry for Donald Trump, who reacted to criticism on Thursday by tweeting a stream of coarse insults at the television journalist, Mika Brzezinski. So clearly the first sentence, which serves as topic sentence and an introduction at the same time, is a preview of what is to come in the succeeding paragraphs of the essay. Furthermore, the topic sentence sets the tone of entire position, a list of details to suggest that Donald Trump is embarrassing himself. Okay. So now that we have established what a topic sentence does to an essay, let us then proceed to the next paragraph. So that part of the essay that explains the topic sentence is what we call the supporting sentences, which contained in the body of the composition. So the preceding essay continues. So let's continue the essay. After all, he so clearly lacks the toughness of George Washington. So he is now being compared to other presidents who once privately observed his critics. Arrows never can reach the most vulnerable part of me. He lacks the confidence of Dwight Eisenhower, a second, who said when asked if he thought his press coverage was fair, well, when you come down to it, I do not see what a reporter could do much to a president, do you? And are we really about to write this sentence? Mr. Trump lacks the grace Richard Nixon showed, at least in public. At the height of Watergate in late 1973, Mr. Nixon blurted at a news conference, I have never heard of or seen outrageous, vicious, distorted reporting in 27 years of public life. Yet he added, I'm not blaming anybody for that. Perhaps what happened is what we did bring it about. So that is a supporting sentences or the supporting sentences, which contained in the body of the composition. So now that is some punch right there from the author of the essay to President Donald Trump. With all the examples and quotes mentioned, the previous paragraph emphasized that there was no escaping the purpose of the body of a composition. To substantiate the topic sentence, so the essay then continues with another paragraph with a new topic sentence to boot. So Mr. Trump may be a more tender soul or less resilient in any case. He can seem to take the heat. Probably no one in the world draws much scrutiny and criticism, even mockery. As an American president, and each president understandably chaps. But for Mr. Trump, every barb seems to hit home, and he vengefully attacks his tormentor in full view of the world. He does not appear to realize that he is embarrassing himself. This is, so that's in the sentence. Oh, sorry. So continuation. This is what Republicans and Democrats have been trying to tell Mr. Trump since his tweeted attacks on the MSNBC co-hosts Joe Scarborough and Mrs. Brzezinski, which were capped by the claim that he refused to spend New Year's Eve at Mar-a-Lago with Ms. Brzezinski, who was bleeding badly from a facelift. So once again, it could not be explained more clearly that this essay is out to get Donald Trump mad and doesn't mince its word in doing so. So the essay then continues with another topic sentence and pull some more jabs for Trump by writing. So add to the nastiness of the attack, its creepy misogyny. Here again was Mr. Trump, whose casual boosting of sexual assault nearly upended his candidacy, denigrating women with references to bleeding. This is not okay, Representative Lynn Jenkins, Republican of Kansas, said on Twitter. As a female in politics, I am often criticized for my looks. We should be working to empower women. The preceding paragraph opens up a new angle to Trump's perceived behavior, his misogynistic nature. To explain this are follow-up sentences of Trump's alleged utter disregard for women. Okay, let's now see the conclusion. The essay then ends up with a conclusion to suggest the main idea of the whole essay. So you can read it with me, with your eyes. The big question for all of us is whether, with his foot stamping and his vulgarity, Mr. Trump, in defiance of all his predecessors, is creating a new model for future presidential behavior. Can that etiquette of professional wrestling and reality television truly pass as acceptable for the Oval Office? The breadth and depth of bipartisan repugnance for this president's insult suggests, thankfully, that the answer may prove to be no. So if we are to put all the previous paragraphs together, produces a well-written, cohesive, and straightforward essay on the perceived nature of the man, now president of USA, Donald Trump. That is really he is. Okay, let's just have this few reminders. So remember, the first few sentences should get the attention of the reader. If not, it will be harder to sustain a limited amount of interest to your reader's willingness to provide you as he gives you the time of his day to read your essay. If you're successful in grabbing the interest of your reader, the challenge then comes right down to sustaining the interest with the point that you are making in your essay. This is in the issue of sustenance. If your essay is keen on informing readers, you should make it your business to give your readers the information they need. When your essay is meant to entertain, the challenge is to present your ideas in a way that will amuse your reader. And if you're really good, elicit some hearty laughter from your entertained readers. Okay, that is for if you are to write to entertain. In social media, anecdotes and snippets of every jokes abound, much to the pleasure of the online community. These slice of life jokes, however, do not make a good essay, but writing a composition on how they have affected the sense of humor of people in general can be one good subject matter for an essay. So no matter what your purpose in writing is, when you glide from one sentence to the next or from one paragraph to the next, you need to achieve cohesion. So this is by utilizing transitional words like in addition, furthermore, moreover. Okay. So let's now proceed to the transitional expression. So transitional expressions work within the paragraph and perform well to smoothen edges, connect sentences as we go along with your paragraph development, such as for cause and effect, we can use as a result, compared to, similarly, likewise. Okay, and for your enumeration of ideas, so you can use firstly, secondly, finally, or if you're giving examples, you can use for instance. For example, C, it can be easy if you put your heart into it. Effective writing requires you to make splash in your first few sentences and pique the interest of your readers. Or in your case, your teacher. You are then challenged to sustain the interest of your readers for your work by supplying additional and thought-provoking supporting sentences to prove the point you are building in your essay. If you need to gather information through research or interview in order to make your essay more interesting, do so without hesitation, as it will ensure more sharpness in your work. Once you have done this, give the final kick to your essay with a conclusion that will leave a mark to their minds, a home run, so to speak. Finally, how does one differentiate a thesis statement from a topic sentence? I wasn't able to include the 8 to our PowerPoint presentation, but we need to really know the difference between thesis statement and topic sentence. So students often wonder about how to distinguish a thesis statement from a topic sentence to the point of interchanging them. Okay, so a good thesis statement serves as a guide as you write your composition. It is that controlling idea that stays in your head while you are writing. For example, if you mean to say through a composition that President Duterte is truly the leader we deserve to have, then your entire composition will go about proving that your thesis statement is foolproof. What is this of proof? Okay, like bulletproof. So there is, you are saved. However, in the entirety of your composition, you may need to challenge your own assertions by using expressions like apparently, very likely, or probably in order to maintain an air of objectivity to your work. So, a thesis statement does not necessarily forecast the organization of the essay. In fact, a thesis statement may be written at the beginning or the end of the paragraph to underscore the topic or position of the essay. On the other hand, a topic sentence gives the direction as to how a paragraph is written. For instance, if the topic sentence announces that the best is yet to come for the country with President Duterte's leadership, then the sentences to follow it shall highlight the pending projects of the Duterte government enough to qualify the word best in the topic sentence. So it is, however, noted that both topic sentence and thesis statement may only just be implied and not directly stated in paragraph or in a composition, respectively. So I will be sending you later on a well-researched essay. And you should take note of the thesis statement and the topic sentences in it. Additional to that, I will also be sending your activity 6.1, which is all about the supporting a topic sentence. Okay, you have things to do. Okay, that is to see to it that you will be applying the things that we have learned. Of course, I am also learning. And for the very concluding part, or the conclusion part of our presentation for this afternoon, so we are talking about structure, right? The composition. So that is being compared, if we are to look to the IFL of that. So if we are to look, yes, we talk about the body because we're dealing with cohesion, transitional words, something like that. So it is compared to a body. And it says in Romans 12, verses 4 to 5, for just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function. So in Christ, we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to all the others. Okay. So a body without the parts, body parts, the organs, is not considered as a body. That is also true with essays. Okay. That's why we are going to communicate because we care. Okay. As we communicate, there are also things to consider. It is also true when we are caring for our body. There are things to consider as well. Okay. So I believe that we have learned many things this afternoon. So it's now time to share the things that you have learned.